Happy Tuesday, and for those of you that might not be in Colorado, we're actually going to be, looks like about 70 degrees today, so I want to rub that in a little bit in case you're like back home in Michigan where my parents are and they're complaining. So even though it's this COVID era, a little wonky, we've got a great guest, we've got great weather, at least here in Colorado, and we are really excited to talk with our guest about breaking that stigma. Right now, that stigma with aging, we hear a lot of it, anti-ageism. We hear a lot of ageism. We're going to have a good talk with Kris today about changing the stigma around aging. And before that, I want to give a big thank you to Serenity Engage, the HIPAA-compliant app, who is really changing how we can better communicate with families about how their loved one is doing in senior care communities. So a quick little note from them, and then I'm going to turn it over to Catherine. And we're back, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to the ever well-dressed Catherine Wells.
Oh, well-dressed. Wow.
I got to come up with some new ones. I get stuck in new ones.
I know. You're like Googling beforehand.
Actually, I need to do that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I don't know about well-dressed, but I did.
I like your necklace. That's what drew my attention.
There you go. I enjoyed me some Etsy time and found some really cool necklaces.
Cool.
Why not? So thank you, Francis. So happy to be here. And yes, it's 70 degrees and beautiful, but I bet our guest, Kris Chana, has us beat on the Florida.
I mean, we got lucky today because it is a beautiful day. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the temperature is right now, but I think you got us beat on temperature. You know, probably temperature and that dry air. You got us beat today for sure.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, Kris, it's so good to see you again. We've had you on our show before, but welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. And last time I was there, I think it was like 30 degrees. I think you guys had a cold front come through that one.
You brought snow, man, from Florida. Right. That was the problem.
I know, man. I was like, dang, this is cold. You know, I'm a Florida boy, so it's hard for me to handle that snow, man. I couldn't do that full time like you guys do it. You know, so.
Well, but don't tell anyone, but it's not full time. We have 320 days.
That's true. That's true. Honestly, it is beautiful. My buddy just got back from Colorado. He was just in Breckenridge for 2 weeks, and man, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous out there. I mean, those mountains are just so beautiful to look at, you know. So
yeah,
definitely a little jealous of y'all, you know.
Yeah, it's a good place to live. Just don't tell other people that.
Right.
No, that's okay. They can come. It's okay.
Well, I know it's funny because he was talking about moving out there, and I'm like, and my wife and I are like, man, dude, you can't move out there. Like, come on, you gotta stay here with us. You know, we got kids that are growing up together, and but they love it out there too. So they might be joining you. You know, so. But,
that's great.
Anyways.
That's great. We welcome everybody. I'm a Colorado native. We welcome everybody.
Yeah.
So, Kris, I just want to remind our audience a little bit about about some of your fun story from our last conversation and about who you are. And then let's talk about changing the way we look at senior care. So Kris and his wife moved into their very first assisted living that they owned together as a married couple, like their first night. Maybe, I don't know if it was their honeymoon or not.
Right.
Like almost their first night, and after they got married, they're living in assisted living. And I mean, I don't know anyone else who can tell that story. I think that is really cool. And you were very young, and you knew that you wanted to make a difference for our seniors in the way that we care for them. And obviously, your wife believed in your mission and was right there alongside. Tell us how it's going. What is this, 6-7 years later now?
So believe it or not, the assisted living facility specifically is actually coming up on our 10-year anniversary.
Wow.
I know, trust me. I was like, the other day we were talking about this. We're like, oh my gosh, has it been 10? Like, so 2021, like basically March of 2021 will be like 10 years from when we purchased the building. I mean, we opened, I think, later in like September or whatnot, you know, of 2011. But I remember we purchased that building in March of 2011. So
very cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we were already just talking about, okay, what are we going to do for our 10-year anniversary for that? So the assisted living facility has been around for 10 years. Some of the other things that we've added to kind of our suite of services are newer for sure, but yeah, the assisted living facility has been around for a while, and we change there every year is new. Like this year we put a full-blown like Key West style landscaping, and we put a beach in the backyard. We brought in like a ton, like I don't know how many tons of sand, but we brought in a bunch of Siesta Key sand and put that in the backyard and put a bunch of coconut palm trees in, and really created this like beautiful ambiance for our residents. So that was like one of my like checklist items that I've been waiting for literally like since we opened to do that.
That's
and
cool.
We finally were able to do it this year. So yeah, but I'll have to show you some pictures of that. It looks cool.
Yeah, and 10 years, that's impressive. So I just want to stop and say congratulations. That's a really big deal. And you're serving so many people, and I know that you've added to your menu of options since then, and you ebb and flow. But one of the things that we talked about the last time is how you put fun back into senior care. Like, let's enjoy life. Let's not make senior care this place that you go and you sit in your chair and you watch TV. Let's make it something engaging and exciting and interesting. And I've seen some of your staff and your wife, I think, on some of the episodes that you put on Facebook. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in that area.
So we recently had decided that we wanted to kind of showcase senior care in a different light, and I think in general I feel like it's maybe sometimes an unpopular topic. It's something that like it's an industry I feel like it doesn't get that like maybe sexy reputation that maybe something like a piece of real estate or something like just other industries that might have like fancy cars, things like that draw attention to them, and so we really wanted to create and kind of like a behind the scenes, a weekly vlog style show, and do it in a way that was fun and exciting, and it really just would change the way people might think of the senior care industry. Ultimately, I think for us, if we could create something that could attract industry professionals, entrepreneurs, people from other industries that might never have thought of senior care as a field that they would want to work in, but all of a sudden they see it in this different light. They see how it's a purpose-driven business, and if you're passionate about helping people, there's a lot of there's a lot of value, a lot of purpose and meaning that you can find in it, and then being able to like showcase all the amazing people that are helping to contribute to this industry, and showcasing all that in like a weekly fun vlog style format. So we came out with Senior Care Uncensored, which is basically our weekly vlog, and it's just kind of featuring different things that we're doing behind the scenes as we continue to grow in our company. So.
That's really great, and these videos are so much fun. So if you need a good giggle, if you just want to get some insight into what goes on in Kris's mind.
I don't know if you want to know, that might be a dangerous path.
You may not want to go there. You're like, get me out of here.
He might be better off talking to his wife first.
Good plan.
No, but this is like, just because Catherine and I talk a lot about, we have this mentality or this way of thinking, I feel, and that's what really triggered us to get involved with the Mavericks here, was we were comfortable doing it how we've always done it, right? Whether that be how we design the buildings or how we provide the care, how we encourage the staff, or even talk about it. And, seeing this, like, just some of the discussions you're having about, some of the, using transit vans or getting more creative with, I think you had the discount daycare, I think was one that I got a kick out of.
Yeah, the budget daycare.
Yeah, and then even some of the stuff, you took one of your residents' parasail. I mean, we need to bring that vibrance, that life back into this next act, right? I mean, it's kind of like a play. This isn't your final act; it's just your next one, right?
Right,
and that's
exactly.
What it has to get to.
Yeah, like even next week, I think next Wednesday we have 2 videos scheduled. We're doing an airboat ride with 3 of our members from our daycare center, and then we're also we're doing a Tesla reaction video where we floor it in a Tesla, and then get people's reaction to like that that initial speed, that. So we're just trying to do different things, I mean. A lot of our members and some of our residents and the people we care for in the home, they still have so much life left. They still have, so much more to live. And if we can, utilize this platform, to be able to like showcase all the cool things that are maybe going on behind the scenes that they may not see, and our show is a mixture of things. I mean, some of it's going to be us doing special things for our residents. Some of it might be like when we did the landscaping project at our assisted living facility, like we're going to feature that, and it'll have the entire evolution from the day they took up all the grass to the final project, and just things like when we brought that transit van, like we took people through the series of events where we purchased the van, it got delivered, then we took it to get it wrapped, and we got it wrapped with some of the pictures of our members.
Oh, cool.
and then we surprised them with the van and their faces on it, and they hadn't seen it yet. So we pulled up and then had them come out with their, we kind of like held up, covered their eyes, whatever, and then showcased, them on the side of the van. They're like, oh, look at that. It was like, who's that guy? That's me. So we just did some, kind of a cool reveal like that. So we're just taking people behind the scenes, and even just being transparent and authentic. We had one video where we showcased how we lost $120,000 in revenue because of COVID at our adult daycare center, and but how we were still fortunate enough to be able to qualify for the PPP loans at that time, and as a result we decided to give a bonus out to all of our staff, and so just showcasing that whole storyline when we did that. So just trying to help people understand, kind of literally every aspect of the company: finance, marketing, just operations, and then things that we're doing special for our residents and our members and stuff like that. So
who is the creative genius behind this?
I don't want to, I can't take all the credit for it, because we definitely have a lot of people that are helping us make it work. But I would say that I do enjoy creating content. And so being able to do shows like this that are a little bit of all the things that I'm doing on a daily basis anyways, I really enjoy that side of it. Cause like when I took Lee parasailing, I would love to do that regardless of whether or not we had a camera on us or not, and so but it's kind of cool to be able to feature something like that as well, and then give that to her daughter as like a gift that she'll be able to have as a keepsake forever, and so I just think things like that are so, I would love to do like more extreme stuff. Obviously it takes money to do that, so we're just doing what we can with what we have, but over time I would love to see that grow. As at the end of the day, I think if my full-time job could literally be like surprising all of our members and residents and guests with these types of things, oh my God, that would be my dream job. That's what I'm trying to get to,
Well, but you're on the path though. The things you're doing are really great, and I don't want to, you always talk about, I think one thing that we were talking about before is being vulnerable and transparent, which I think is very important in long-term care, right? It is really, really tough. Because our industry was kind of that, don't peel back the curtain, you can't know what's going on. So I give you but I give you a boatload of credit, because the more we're transparent, the more this is real. This is not, I always talk with families about, when I'm working with them on this next step, this is the crappiest decision you have to make. You're kind of this role reversal of, you're making decisions for your parents, and it sucks, but we can't always sugarcoat and be like, oh, it's cool. But what I love here is it's cool in the sense they can have purpose no matter where they're living. And this is their new home. And let's give them that power to have this next chapter be amazing.
Right, exactly, 100%. And I know now what's cool too is not only the show's also given us a reason to really look for things that we can do that are unique for people. So, now we're always seeking what are someone's interests, what are their hobbies, what do they like, how can we do something and create an experience around that, and then film it for them and create this cool piece of content, So I would say it's actually in a way enhanced our ability to so instead of just doing that kind of stuff on the side as it comes, now it's we're intentionally doing that on a regular basis. Cool. So I kind of like how it's almost like the fact that we have to shoot a weekly vlog holds us accountable to fulfill those experiences for people,
I think it's great, and there's no way this has not positively impacted your residents. It has to have impacted their well-being, their emotional well-being, and the relationship with the families that you have, because you're giving families treasured moments. But more important than any of it is you're giving your residents like a life. I mean, I'm not, I don't have a life. I don't, like giving them reasons to continue living and loving life and engaging.
No, and like we, like honestly, when we took Lee parasailing, the reason I think that like was so special is because like when later when she got home that evening, so what's interesting is her daughter actually works at our senior center as well. And so it was kind of cool because they came with us for the day, and and her daughter joined us, and then later on that night they came home, and we had sent them like a little preliminary draft of just some of the footage we got and stuff. But then she said to her daughter that night, she was like, she's and I couldn't, and like this is what makes me so excited about it. But she was like, that was like the best day of my life. And it was just like that's exactly why we do this. That's exactly why. I'm so excited to be able to do things like what we're doing, because to be able to have that kind of an impact on her and her daughter, I mean, it's just so cool. And then like Marco, one of our residents at our assisted living facility, he had suffered from a stroke like 10 years ago, and he was an avid motorcycle, he just loved motorcycles, always had a Harley, always, and he was just devastated when he had a stroke because his doctor basically said he's not allowed to, drive a motorcycle anymore. And it's just been like this really, really difficult thing for him to process, to the point where because his wife rides too, and I remember like talking to his wife about it, and she was like, he was even so upset that he wouldn't even ride on the back of mine. He was like, I'm not gonna ride on the back of a motorcycle ever, and so like, I think he'd gotten over that like 10 years later now, and so we decided to go rent a trike, and we took him out for a motorcycle ride, and he got to go, on a cool motorcycle, and just like,
that's awesome. That's
and
so
like,
cool.
it was funny because he's a Harley guy, so I pulled up in like a Honda Goldwing, and then I took him for a spin around town and stuff, but but he was just still like, he was still talking about it like a week later, and just how much he enjoyed that. So like those are the kind of things that's like, man, like, like I said, if I could do that every day, like if that could be my full-time job, I'd be in heaven. Like that's the goal. I know I got to still deal with the operational stuff now, but eventually, one day, hopefully. So,
Kris, are you getting any pushback from? I mean, are people looking at you kind of in the industry, or have you heard any pushback like, this is almost too risky, or you're pushing the envelope too much at all, in any shape or form?
We haven't necessarily got that yet. I know there's some things that we might be doing, but I
don't think so. The reason I say that is I think what you're doing is what we should have been doing all along. I think we've conditioned ourselves. Well, no. Why all of a sudden when someone's 75 do we need to bubble wrap them? I mean, that's what I look at this as, is like, Catherine, when did they stop living? At what age did we determine that, well, you've got to be super safe now?
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, and that's the hard part. Like, I think there's that luxury of being a smaller operator, like, like you guys too. It's like, like at the end of the day, I don't have to, worry about all that liability of like a Brookdale type of thing, So, me personally taking my resident on a motorcycle, like, at the end of the day, like that's on just me, And so I think there's still some of that, like, because I'm a small operator, I have a little bit more flexibility to be able to do things like that. I think as you grow and stuff, you have to make decisions that are more conservative. But I love the fact that we can do things like this. I know we're even, planning, we got a helicopter ride coming up, we got an airplane ride. The airplane ride, I'm gonna take them flying.
Cool.
We're doing, so just, like whatever we can, and we're trying to genuinely find authentic things that people want to do too. So we're going into like throwing out a list of ideas to our residents, our members, and just trying to see like what sticks. And if someone's like, oh, I want to do that, then we'll hone in maybe a little bit more specifically on what they want to do.
So I want to go back to something you said there. Real quick. Why does your size matter if you're conservative or not? Because I mean, being honest, like why?
I would hope that as we grow and get bigger, that we do more things like this and more like things that are pushing the envelope. I just think that maybe the mindset of your kind of typical corporate culture is going to be going conservative as things scale. So
Gotcha.
I don't necessarily say, I don't necessarily mean that like I'm going to change things up.
Well, I'm sure you're not,
yeah.
because I'm not worried about that at all, because
Right.
But no, because I mean, I think we know each other pretty well, and I would call you and be like, Kris, what the heck are you doing, man? Like,
right.
you're getting a little weak here, buddy. Come on.
Right.
Let's get back to
Right.
You know, the Kris Chana show here and start pushing the envelope. You know.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. You know?
Let me ask a question about COVID. So COVID is, you know, it's a real thing. We're all dealing with it. A lot of communities right now are very somber. They're very, you know, running around trying to always make sure that everything is safe, you know, following protocols. They're losing people. How are you dealing with that in terms of this changing the narrative around the way we age?
Yeah, so, you know, honestly, in some ways, COVID is kind of like really what started us doing these more like one-on-one specific things with different residents. Because honestly, the first thing we ever did that was kind of like a highlight was we rented a convertible Mustang and took everyone out for convertible rides, because we were trying to figure out, okay, what is something that is allowable with our restrictions, because we were under these restrictions, right? So there was like this gray area, because they're technically our residents at the time were not allowed to leave the facility, and, you know, their families couldn't visit and all that kind of stuff. And so the first thing we did was this convertible ride, because it was like, okay, it's just me, and we sanitize the convertible. I've been tested for COVID, you know, I'm tested negative, and then if they hop in this convertible, you know, and we put the top down and we don't go anywhere, we just go for a ride, then that should pass the like restriction test that the state put out. So, you know, like that was really the first thing we did, and that kind of led into like, oh, the motorcycle ride, and oh, we can do parasailing, and all these things that were kind of like outside, like not in big gatherings, and you know, that we could do safely and with peace of mind. So in some ways that kind of led into maybe the reason behind the show, because it allowed us to really have excuses for how we could do things for them specifically, outside of just trying to like go around and parade around to everyone's room and try to get them happy, but actually do something that was more exhilarating, you know? So yeah, I guess I don't know if that's the right answer to your question, but
no, it's a great answer, and any answer is fine because it's authentic and real. And I think that's something that I really love, which is one of the reasons I asked about the creative genius, because it really is, you didn't let COVID stop you. You used COVID as a trigger to get even deeper into how to engage people and give them an experience that is hashtag best day ever. And should we have a million hashtag best day evers in our life?
Right.
So let's keep
exactly.
creating them. Let's not stop creating them. I think that's
100%.
brilliant. And I love that. And I wanted to make sure for our audience that we cover the part about COVID, because I know there are a lot of communities who are suffering.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, like that was, I think that was the hardest part. Is I walked into our community one day, because mind you, here we are, like, right? Florida's, you know, every state's different, right? So our daycare is operating, and we're open, and we're having fun over there, and we're having a great time with everyone. You know, doing it in a way that is, you know, safe. But I'm just saying, like when I go to my assisted living facility, the rules and regulations that were set aside for that, like everyone has to be in their room. They can't leave their room. Like they're supposed to be eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner in their room. In my mind, it felt like prison. Like I was like, I hated because I'm like, I go over to our daycare center and they're having fun, you know, and they're enjoying each other's company. And, you know, again, you know, there's a lot of things that we had to do. Like everyone had to sit, we had to limit the number of people we could bring back to our center. There were, you know, instead of having maybe 6 people at a table, we had 3. You know, we were using like gloves on all of our members, like, you know, when they were playing with games that, you know, they would have to each touch everything. You know, everyone was wearing masks. It was like a whole different experience than before, but it was still them having fun as a group. Whereas the assisted living facility, like I said, everyone was like, you know, stuck in their rooms, and it killed me inside. I was like, we got to do something to, like, you know, make this more exciting or just bring some joy to their lives, you know. So that was, you know, that was really, that's what killed me about the whole COVID thing. It was just seeing them suffer, you know, because of the restrictions and because of, you know, what they could and could not do, you know.
Well, I love that you made COVID a catalyst and for positivity and improvement. And Francis and I are so not surprised.
Yeah.
You're a bright spot in the industry. You have high energy, you're driven, you're motivated, and you're really passionate about people and their lives and fully enjoying life.
We're trying, you know. I mean, it's it's a lot. It's a lot, you know, with everything going on these days. But I know, you know, if we can, I think just trying to inspire more people to join the cause, you know, and I think that's the hard part, because I sit here right now and you know we're facing a staffing crunch like the rest of the country, but then I also think about the leaders, you know, like what's going to happen to, you know, all of the leaders who are baby boomers now that are going to be slowly retiring as well. You know, who's going to take the place of, you know, all of these people that have been leading an industry for all these years. You know, like, you know, my generation all got sold on going to college, go work for, you know, this tech startup, go, you know, do, you know, this thing, go, you know, go become a doctor, go become a lawyer, go to, you know, all these things that were not geriatrics, it was not senior care, you know. And so the problem is now you have this massive population of people that are going to need care, need help, need these services, but no one has tried to attract all the talent to this industry that so badly needs it, you know.
Yeah. It's just it's not a sexy field, you know. It's
right.
Not as cool as building an app. So I think what you're doing is really cool. So I kind of want to ask this question. We talked about it briefly. Yeah. What is this Healthcare Hero Sweepstakes that you're doing, and kind of what does that mean for people that want to subscribe to your, you know, Senior Care Uncensored? Can you tell us a little bit about that and what action you want our viewers to take?
Sure. So, you know, I appreciate you bring that up too. So the Healthcare Hero Sweepstakes is, and it's something we haven't even launched like publicly yet, you know, but I don't mind sharing with you guys on here.
It's coming out now, buddy.
But I know, it's coming out now. But you know, we're gonna have a big launch party for that. But we're actually, you know, trying to do something crazy again and just cause attention, you know, to like, you know, this industry. But we actually are going to be giving away a vehicle. So we're giving, we purchased a Mercedes E300, and it's an older one, you know, but it's still a good one. It still has plenty of life left in it, but it's a beautiful looking car. So we're going to be giving that away or $10,000 cash, and it's called our Healthcare Hero Sweepstakes. It's going to run for about 10 months, and people can enter to win, you know, this vehicle or the $10,000 cash, and we're going to have all the, you know, stuff. Like, you know, as far as like, you know, where to go and how to qualify, because you have to go through this whole process. Basically, I think if you give away something over $2,500 in Florida or some other states, you have to actually register it and has to go through a third-party company. And so we're, you know, putting together all that stuff right now. It's actually, yeah, trust me, when we were at first like, oh, we'll just do this, and then all of a sudden it became this big thing, and we're like, oh, we're gonna have like legal stuff, and everyone has to register through this thing, and it's like it's just a process, you know. Yeah. But anyways, we are. It's called Healthcare Hero Sweepstakes. Basically, anyone that likes, shares, or comments on our videos on our YouTube channel or our Facebook pages, you know, they will be entered to win. Every like, share, comment is going to actually be worth different you know, amounts, and then all that stuff will go into this pool, and then it'll be a lottery system, and then the third-party company will pull the winner, and then, you know, we'll be announcing the winner to that. But we should be announcing the sweepstakes, and when it goes live here, you know, in a few weeks. So
stay tuned for that. But I just want to make sure it's super easy. Basically everything that everybody always does on social media, they just got to keep doing the same thing, and they could enter to win $10,000 cash or a car. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Like, it's that easy, right? There's
like,
no.
Is that easy? It really, like, it's literally that easy. There's no, you don't have to buy nothing. You don't have to give us nothing. It's just.
Well, I'm going to put my wife on it. So my wife's going to be getting us like 20 entries a day then.
That's right. See, that's what we need, you know. But like, hopefully, like that spreads awareness. You know, we did the Healthcare Heroes badge on the side of this car. It's like a all American. You know, it's a pride. You know, American pride, American hero theme. You know, and you know, we want to draw attention to like, hey, you know, while, you know, the tech industry gets to go home and work from home, you know, like there's people out there like, you know, that are working overtime, 80 hours a week, you know, not spending the night with their families, sleeping in other rooms, you know, having to go through all this stuff. Like, people that aren't in healthcare have no idea what those in healthcare have been going through, facing staffing shortages on top of having to, like, you know, so you're putting your whole life into this thing, you're risking your life, you know, you don't know what this disease could or could not do to you. You're just trying to follow the best protocols you can, and and all this could affect you and your family, but like you're doing it because you care about people, you care about helping people, and I think we need to find those retail workers, we need to find those people in hospitality, we need to find those people in other industries that want to join this cause in healthcare, that can find their purpose and find a meaningful life, meaningful jobs in this industry.
Yeah, we absolutely agree. We love what you're doing. We're behind you all the way, and look for Chris's wife to start liking every post. And for our audience, if you have any interest, please, we encourage you, go check out their website, go subscribe to the videos, contact Kris with questions. His phone number is right there. Kris is one of the most genuine, authentic people I know in this industry. Kris, keep doing what you're doing. You make such a difference in so many people's lives. And thank you for inspiring a new set of people to join this industry.
Well, we appreciate you guys, and thank you for all you guys do too. I mean, trust me, you guys are doing an amazing job and bringing a lot of light and bringing a lot of people that have a message and helping to share that message. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and this is exciting. We're gonna, definitely make sure we keep checking in here, because I love what you're the excitement. That's what I love about you. Excitement. Well, Catherine and I have Catherine quoted something a while ago: "Ignite hope." Before we wanted to challenge the status quo, right? And that's one thing. But now it's time to ignite hope. And Catherine came up with that almost 8 months ago.
I love that.
Before COVID, about it's time to ignite hope, and that's where we are with this. So
exactly. No, and honestly, it's like the perfect phrase, man. It's like it's exactly what we all need in this industry right now, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Kris, so good to see you. We appreciate you coming back on the show. For our listeners, we're going to follow this car giveaway or car giveaway.
Who doesn't want a free car?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was like literally the craziest thing we've ever done. I was like, oh my, I can't. Like we talked about it for a while, but we didn't really have a good reason to. And then like this one just seemed like the perfect one. I was like, I would love like if in the perfect world, it'd be so cool if like a caregiver that was having car troubles ends up winning this thing. Like, oh my God, like that, like what a perfect story that would be for someone.
Absolutely.
So but yeah.
And so, Kris, thank you for joining with us. For our listeners, our viewers who watch us, come join us on Thursday at 12 p.m. Mountain Time while we have another awesome guest. We have another startup that is doing amazing things with walkers. So join us Thursday to learn a little bit more about some cool tech coming for walkers. Until next time, enjoy your day, enjoy your weather, and we will talk to you all soon.
Thanks, guys.